So, I mean, really the best way to practice is not stress it out. It's like, okay, how well can I do this on the lower notes? So if I'm just sitting here, I'm relaxed, my shoulders are back, I'm going to feel the air go in my body, my ribs are expanded. And then I'm going to release the air with the sound, but I'm not going to push the air with the sound. That's very hard to mentally wrap your head around as you go higher. But if you can do it in your lower range, go ahead, take a rest. How's that? That feels good, right?
Feels good, yeah.
Yeah. That's almost my, something like that is always, after I do my falsetto, that's usually my first part of my warm-up. I just do something low and easy and I come back to it at the end of the warm-up too. But that sound is really good. There's no squeeze in it. There's no lightening up. It's not getting breathy. It's staying clear. That's the goal. And then as we go higher, think of it as, okay, so if I'm sitting here, as I go higher, I'm thinking releasing the air the same way, but I'm going to push that little belly part out as I try to make that do everything without really pushing any more air. So it's like, leave it at that. That's a good start. Right? How's that feel? Everything felt good?
Yeah, the last couple notes felt a bit uncontrolled. I still had my ribs out, but it was kind of a bit
experiment. Yeah. Okay, so when it gets to the part that's hard, experiment with movement down there. Experiment with you really leaning that muscle out, like say more than you ever would, just to try it. You know what I mean? Like, all right, let's give this a shot, see what happens. You know what I mean? Kind of like, when I talk about how I learned to play guitar when I had to switch the pick. It's like, well, fuck it. Tape your finger to the pick, see if anything gets better. And then I notice, ooh, something's cool. Something works better about this. I see that it could definitely get better. So I'm going to keep going down this road. So you try different things. You lean that muscle out more. You think lower in that connection. Think like it's easier. Okay, let me see. Let's pretend it's even easier. As I go higher, it gets easier. That sometimes helps me because as we go higher, we start getting stressed out. So to unstress, I'm like, oh, dude, this is nothing. This is like falsetto to me. Then sometimes that clicks. Boink. This is why, like certain teachers talk about, I got to make a video soon, so I've been thinking about this stuff. Like certain teachers talk about like, oh, not everybody learns the same. And, one method isn't the right method. I don't believe that. I believe this method really does work because it's kind of tested. I believe people in their brains are all different. So you need to give them different ideas. That's my job, is to give you different ideas at this point, because giving you so much, it's all there for you. It's all about the vowels and the support. If we just say vowels and support, that's it. But your brain works different than my brain. So we need to you might be more left brained. I may be more right brained and all that, so my whole thing is you have to think different. Like, okay, all right. If this isn't working and that isn't working, well, what's a 180 from that? Right? Let's try falsetto. The same idea. I want this falsetto. Don't let those ribs fall. Really, and don't think about pushing at all, because it doesn't need it. So just think about this. I'm going to breathe. My body's going to go like this. I have my hand on my rib. I have hand on my belly. And I'm just going to but just release the air, not try and drive it before I even started. Right? So it's a very hard mental thought to go, something's got to push it out, but not really. If the air comes in, it has, like a balloon. It has to come out. It's in there. So if there's nothing blocking it, it's just going to come right out. If there's something like the vocal cords blocking it, there's going to be resistance. If there's too much resistance, I'm going to feel like I need to push. If there's not enough resistance, I'm going to just deflate. Where's the one in the middle? Right? So we think about that. So what I do, this is, okay, here, my brain. Yeah. When I started getting more successful at this, or when I wasn't getting successful on this, I had to come up with something that made it successful for me. So I could rely on the something rather than maybe I'll get it, right? Yeah, it's like, and it has to be timed. So it can't be held. It's got to be so right after that inhale. I don't even think about it. Yeah. Because if we have a swoop, that means you're driving it.
Okay.
See how it helps? If you could be that successful with it, then just let it fall down the street. Don't call it like that. Don't keep going, right? Don't keep going. Stop, reset, and then go. Let go. Okay. What's the movement? The movement is release my belly for the inhale and keep pushing it out for the exhale. So I'm going.
Okay.
See how subtle? But when you think about it, when you keep on jabbing at it, it's never going to be right. You've got to reset. Okay, what's the movement? What's my movement? My movement is this. But it's not stopped because there's no stall in that. So the inhale goes and it just keeps going. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. So I would constantly, you know, it's like anything, you know, it's just a learning process. You're going to get so much better at it, but it's there for you. But that's a difficult thing to knock out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, most difficult for me, I think, is the difference between wrong and right is so small. You know, it's
they're next door. On something like this, they are so close. They're such neighbors that's why most people don't ever get out of this slump. Most people just go, that's just my voice. That's the way it works. I mean, you don't know how many times I've had to deal with people that say that to me. That's the way my voice works. Every teacher's tried to do this for me, and I didn't. I'm like, when you're done, when you shut up, can we work on this? There's a way out. You know what I mean? It's like, how much can you lower your nerves and lower your perceived idea of what's already there and let something new take over? That's fucking hard, man. That's hard.
But I have no problem at all with learning. I love to learn.
Yeah, well, that's because you're.
And I know from the guitar, you need kind of 1 or 2 or 3 years until you get something, you know.
That's right. Yeah.
Started sounds like.
Well, again, as good as a guitar player as you are, if I asked you to take your guitar and flip it upside down, you'd be lost.
Yeah.
Because you could see everything, but you wouldn't be able to. Your fingers don't know what the fuck to do. You know, that's it. That's the whole deal.
And the nerve thing is just isn't working this way because our brain needs kind of enough how you say it in English how you call it when you do the thing over and over again, repetition. Your brain needs a certain amount of repetition to be good at something, you know.
Yeah.
And to be angry about this process is kind of stupid.
That just makes. I mean, that was me for years. I could have got this down way better when I was younger. If I sat, even with Seth, when I first sat with Seth Riggs, if I just really listened to what he was telling me and listened to the sound that was coming out of his mouth versus what he was telling me was right and what I was doing, because his ear was off telling me just to keep doing the same thing, but that wasn't the way I needed to hear it. And I just kept doing the same thing. I had to try something new. And that's scary because it's like taking off anything that you think you've made. Oh, I made all this progress. Well, now get rid of it. Guess what? Your progress brought you down a wrong road. So it's time to go back that road and take the other fork in the road. Ah, shit. You know what I mean? I gotta walk all that way. You gotta walk all that way. Sorry.
But I
Listen,
know, I know the shit is normal. You know, it's kind of
yeah,
it's normal. It's just learning. It's okay. And I kind of I'm in the position now where I'm kind of liking this. You know, I like
yeah,
this process, and that's a reason why I'm doing it. You know, of course I will sing like I will become a great singer, but I know it's all of the good things need certain amount of time. You know.
that's right. And I might use this. Maybe I might use this lesson without videos. I just want the audio for a post on YouTube. Because some of these things I've explained, I never really get to get it out this way. You know what I mean? So, but today my brain actually worked for once in my life. So it actually went boink, and I was able to get a lot of thoughts out that I normally cannot get out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Thanks.
yeah, this
Thanks
is
for this.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, this to me it means a lot. You're on this path, and if you could get out of the way of like that, like yeah, if realizing how close the neighbors are, you know what I mean, and go,
Yeah.
or realize like, oh, I've got this problem and I've been going down this road. Well, you got to turn around, go back, go the other way. That's just the way it is. There's no ands, ifs, buts about it. There's no shortcut. If
Yeah.
if you don't get lucky with a shortcut, like some people people will make hacks like, well, here's my secret singing hack. It's only going to get you so far. You know what I mean? And that hack is going to lead you down another road, because usually that hack is making uh, a muscular situation like hardcore in one direction to undo one situation, which I understand, right?
Yeah.
They're going to do something the opposite movement. So really, kind of like what we're doing with this belly thing on the
Yeah.
falsetto. Like I'm
Yeah.
making you push it out like
Yeah.
a food baby. I don't want you to do that when you sing, but for this exercise, that will let this not have to grab.
Yeah.
The throat doesn't grab at it now. It lets the air keep moving. You know what I mean? When you sing, do I want you to push your belly out? No, I don't want you to push your belly out.
Mm.
I want your belly to stay where the
Mm.
inhale was. Boom, and then use the muscle underneath our belly buttons to lean out so so the air can keep flying.
Mm.
That's the idea. All right,
But
let's try this. Back to but E to E. E. So I want the same thought. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to let the belly go for the breath, and then just leave it where it is and use that muscle underneath, and put your hand on your rib so it doesn't squeeze. So I'm going to do yours. I'm going to do the one that you're doing, which is, again, they're neighbors, but they're too close. You got to come over to where I want you to go. So if I say, yeah, because the other one does something. I don't know what it does. It does something. I could feel it in my throat, like the cords open.
yeah.
Something bad happens that'll prevent you from keep climbing.
Yeah.
Always, always in the nasopharynx. Always.
Mm.
Okay, that was good though. My vibrato picked up speed because it got to the right space. And if it gets nasal, if it gets nasal, you'll know, because then that's a no-no. But I would really, I know we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this in this area. You just got to concentrate. Just like you were concentrating that falsetto and like doing all those movements, you got to do the same movements, the same ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. I like it.
I like it also.
Yeah. So for the next one, it's the same.
Mm.
No difference. You can't look at it really different. You got to let the vowel do the work. Okay? So exactly what you were just doing, but if you keep a closed O, and you're starting closed on U, and just keep it closed. Keep the O closed.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh.
your my ears in tune today, for once. Your first U was beautiful. Your second and third U fell back.
Okay.
Keep the placement. Concentrate that placement is the same. Yeah. Relax. Yeah, you got to pronounce. So, yeah, you see when you went and you placed it better, you changed
Yeah.
the vowel totally.
Yeah.
So the vowel has to be the same, but the placement, the vowel's got to stay the same, and the placement's got to stay the same.
Yeah.
You know, the ooh, the other ooh's kind of going down your throat. We don't want that.
Yeah.
We want the sound. It's like it's always in front of us. That's why this works really good too.
Yeah.
You know, if I go, not bad. Doesn't it feel lighter?
Yeah.
It feels lighter, yeah?
It's also sounding different. It's sounding kind of brighter, you know. It's not that dark.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think the darkness just comes from your language.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not like Italians that speak up here. You know, you speak.
Yeah.
It's a whole different thing. So that's tough. It's you got to overcome that. You know,
Yeah.
but as long as you know, well, I got to overcome that. You know, try keep it where that E is. You're letting it go. Doink. I know why, because it feels better, but it's not really right to gain the strength in this.
Okay. What was what was different for me? I just tried to cover it, you know.
It's already covered.
Yeah.
So here's the idea of those A notes, right?
Yeah.
Or right there on that A flat. The idea is you're coming through the cover, so it still has a piece of it.
Yeah.
Don't let it go. Don't let the cover just go total bye-bye. This is like, then keep that work, keep that mentality. And look at, and then you're going to hear me say weeks from now on some lesson, when you get this really good, open it up a little bit more. And you'll be like, but you told me to keep it. And I'll be like, just this is the way it goes. I had to do the same thing every time I get with Alex. He adjusts me one way or the other. That's all. Too open, Dan. Too open. Too closed. You're too much. You got to open that vowel up a little. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to open the vowel. If you open the vowel and it flies away, no. You open the vowel through the cover. You open it through the covering. So you think of this, you're just opening the vowel. Yeah. So it does something a little bit different. You'll start to notice it. But if that gets really strong, when we go sing more open, which we will because we're singing rock and pop, it's a cakewalk. It's like, I got this. So, but then your voice wants to always go there. No, you always got to train this. The way it was explained to me was we learn to cover, so when we sing rock and pop, we could sing more open, and there's no fear of losing your voice anymore. There's no fear of any of these things. You know, when we sing too open all the time and forget the cover, like most rock singers will do, the range comes down over years of time, or even a week. You know, you could sing 4 gigs a week. I used to sing open, and I could sing the first 2 gigs felt great. The 3rd and 4th gig were horrible. It was almost like I had to lower the keys if I could have. Yeah, excellent work, man.
Thank you. Now I'm knowing better what I have to do.
This was a good audio lesson, man. This was really good.
Thanks.
Yeah, excellent. All right.
I'm so glad to have you. It's kind of just this one thing to know that it's possible. You know, it's kind of it's you became the wings, because you know, okay, just do the shit, and sometime after some time.
To me, there's no secrets. I see every day someone puts up the 3 secrets to high notes, or the 4, the 5 hacks to mixed voice. The fuck you need all that shit for? You just do this. The way it was always meant to be. You sing vowels on scales and let the vowels put you in a different register. And then the main thing, as you know, is that, and then how are you supporting it? Are you pushing? That's what push is. If you're pushing, you start to now you kind of know what a push is versus supporting. You know what I mean? It's a different thing. It's a type of energy. There's energy in the body, but it's not bearing down.
It's completely different feeling. It's kind of more holding it together than pushing something, you know.
Yeah, man. Excellent job, dude.